Hey girl, I hope today your mind, body, soul, and spirit are in one flow and one rhythm. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about cycle syncing, why you should start cycle syncing right now, and how it correlates to depression. So if you are anything like me, and if you have suffered through bouts of happiness and sadness in life and felt like you were crazy or didn't know what was going on with your body, I have the key that will unlock the door today. So cycle syncing, what is it? Basically, God is so intelligent that he designed us women to go through different phases throughout the month, all in one cycle. I like to think of it as the seasons that we view in nature: winter, summer, spring, fall. And there's a cadence to life. So you go through a new season or a new cycle. And God has designed our bodies to go through these same cycles within a month. So we have the luteal phase, the ovulatory phase, the follicular phase, and the menstrual phase, which is like winter. The luteal is like fall, follicular is like spring, and ovulatory is like summer. So once you begin to realize the different seasons that your body is going through throughout the month, things start to make sense. It's like almost like a puzzle piece starting to be put together. I remember when I first started learning this, it was like a door had just unlocked, and it helped me put my life into specific categories according to these seasons, so that things were not erratic or all over the place. I learned how to work with my body instead of against my body, and this is what I want for you today as well. So basically, in your menstrual phase, which is the winter season, that is when your body bleeds. So basically, when you don't have a baby every month, if you wanted to look into the specifics, go ahead and do your research. Every month, your body is preparing to have a baby, and when it does it, that's when you have your period, or it's day one of your cycle. This, I best describe it as when you release all the tension, all the energy, and then you renew for the next month. So some people hate their periods, but once you learn how to work with it, I promise you'll start to love your body and love being a woman and love how God designed you. The next one is your follicular phase. Now, you'll mostly see follicular phase is also the menstrual phase as well, but after you had your period is when new birth emerges, right? Spring. What does spring look like to you? Flowers, the air is beginning to be warmer, we tend to go outside more, new activities. It's like a new birth. So this is when your creativity hits its peak. You start to generate new ideas, your energy levels are back up. I love spring as well. So next after that is summer, ovulatory. This is the shortest. It only lasts for like a few days, maybe like 3 days. And summer tends to be really short. It goes by quickly, right? But this is when the emergence comes in. We're always outside, we're socializing, we're having fun, we're interacting with people, we're connecting, networking. The plans are beginning to be set in motion. Everybody loves the ovulatory phase. Ironically, this is when you hit your peak level of energy, and also this is when you're most fertile. So isn't that ironic, like how similar it is between how you feel and what's actually going on inside your body? It's not a coincidence. So next is the luteal phase, the fall. This is when things start to wind down, we start to rest, your energy levels may start to dip a little bit. And the thing that most of us feel a certain type of way with our cycle is during the late luteal phase. This is about exactly 1 week or 7 days before your period actually comes. So just like there's an earlier follicular phase, there's also a late follicular phase. So that's the same way with your luteal phase. There's an early and there's a late. The one that we tend to feel the most crankiest and upset with is the late luteal phase, that transition into winter, into our menstrual cycle. Once I started tracking my cycle with the different phases, I realized that during my late luteal phase, that's when I tend to be the most sensitive, the most irritated, the most sad or depressed, the most angry, and these feelings of hopelessness or regret or dread tends to happen in this cycle. So my girlies, if you are going through depression, or if you say you have seasonal depression, I want you to track your cycle and start cycle seeking and realize maybe there's a pattern. Maybe I tend to get these intense feelings and emotions during my late luteal phase and I'm not really depressed as I am, or maybe I can learn how to regulate my emotions and my feelings and my behaviors. Speaking of depression, I have written a book about overcoming depression. It's called Let God Be Your Medicine, out on Amazon right now. So if you want to check it out, click on the link in the description bar. This has been a 6-year-long project and I'm so excited to finally release it. I just thank God for this new season and this new birth era that I am in, and I cannot wait for all the things that are going to come throughout the years. Okay, next let's get into how to actually fit cycle syncing according to your lifestyle. So the first category is productivity. I've written down and I've done some research on when you should be doing certain things, and it makes so much sense. So for example, during your menstruation period, when you are bleeding, that is best to rest, to think, to reflect, to receive, to journal, to write, to plan, and to listen to your intuition. So when I think of your menstrual phase, I think of releasing. You're shedding old things and you're welcoming new things in. So this is the best time to kind of follow the leading of the Holy Spirit and to just be still. Be still and know that He is God, and just rest and relax. Don't force yourself to do extra things. If you feel like your energy levels are low, then that is your body's signal that it needs rest. So next is the late follicular phase. This is when your energy starts coming back up. This is when you brainstorm, you write down ideas, you'll receive like fresh insights and downloads. You'll be curious. This is when you start planting and emerging. So you'll plan projects, you'll initiate projects. This is the realm of hope and possibility. So if you have an outline for a new book, for a podcast, for whatever project that you're working on, it is best to do it during your late follicular phase, and that's after your period is over. During your ovulation, that is your peak endurance. Okay, this is when you have the most burst of energy to basically produce as much as you can. So if you're having to have tough conversations at work, if you want to ask for a promotion, if you want to network, speak boldly, this is the time to do it, because you feel more out there, you feel more open, and you feel more bold to produce. So this is the best time to be vocal, to pitch ideas, to collaborate, to host, and to have important conversations during your ovulation. So I like to think of this as the communication phase. Next up is fall, which is your luteal phase. This is the time for harvest. So you can check off your to-do list. You can edit because you are more prone to pay attention to details, which is why you tend to be more sensitive. It's almost like everything is magnified. Every fault, every thought. I tend to get a lot of intrusive thoughts during this phase, which can really bother me sometimes, and then I get irritated. I tend to probably maybe lash out on other people. So this is actually your sensitivity being heightened during this phase. So this is a good time to finish up old projects, to hyper focus, to be analytical, to schedule, to deep clean. So if you have projects that tend to need more focused attention on details, this is the time to do it. Okay, so that's productivity. Next up is fitness. So I tend to arrange my fitness schedule around my cycle, because I was noticing when I first started my fitness journey a couple years back that during certain days I would really be void of energy, and I would try to push myself to work out. I would do a lot of cardio, a lot of hip workouts, treadmill or the elliptical, but I noticed sometimes I was not feeling it, and I could not figure out why until I did my research about cycle syncing. So now on certain days, like during your ovulatory and your follicular phase, that's the best to do those high intensity workouts like the HIIT and the cardio that I said. But during your luteal phase, that's probably best for lower energy stuff, like low intensity workouts such as strength training, walking, jogging, stuff like that. And of course, incorporate rest. Listen to your body. Do not push your body to the maximum limit, because it might be trying to communicate something to you that, hey, we are trying to rest and renew, and you're pushing us to the limit, and we're going to strike back. So I write down stuff on like these journaling cards on the type. This is not the exact one. This is categorized by days, but I think I also wrote down one according to my cycle on what type of workouts I will be doing during different phases, as a reminder to let me know, okay, during this week I will work on cardio, high intensity. During my luteal phase, I would do more lower intensity workouts. So that's fitness. So next up is nutrition. Did you know that during your luteal phase, your metabolism increases? Therefore, that's the reason why you tend to eat more and have more cravings. I didn't know that. So basically, during your luteal phase, that's when you'll tend to get the most cravings, usually for something not so healthy, like junk food or refined carbs. So I have written down on more journaling cards what type of foods to eat during different phases of my cycle. During my menstrual cycle, I will eat warm, rich foods with iron, magnesium, vitamin C, low carb with healthy fats and moderate protein. So lots of lean red meats tend to have more iron. For when you're bleeding, you're not depleting your body of iron, you're replenishing your body back. And then of course, green veggies. It's best to limit fruits with high sugars in it, such as tropical fruits like bananas, pineapples, and mangoes, which are my favorites. It's best to limit that during your menstrual phase and have those more during your luteal phase. So then for my luteal phase is about warm, cozy, complex carbs. This is where I'll allow myself to have the white rice, to have the more fattier foods. And this helps prevent me from going out to say like a crumble cookie or a Chinese carryout, which I will end up regretting later anyways. So during my luteal phase, I'll permit me to have more rich foods, such as chicken thighs, drumsticks, turkey wings, ribs, pork belly, shoulder, sweet potatoes, butternut squash, beans, peas, foods that are richer in carbs and fats. For my fruits, this is where I'll have the bananas, the mangoes, the pineapples, avocados, papayas, and then also supplements. Here I have some raspberry tea leaf, which is my favorite. Even when I'm not on my period, I love to drink this tea. It tastes so delicious. I'll have that with some agave syrup and some honey. So this is it right here. I get this from Amazon, and raspberry tea leaf is supposed to help with menstrual cramps and pregnancy support. But of course, if you're not pregnant, you can still drink this. I drink this all the time because it's literally one of my favorite teas. I've become more of a tea person, which is surprising because I've always been like a coffee person. Also, what I love to drink is this chamomile and lavender tea. I get this from Target and I love the mild flavor of this. This is very soothing and relaxing for me. Also, you need to set the mood as well. Set the environment for a peaceful and calm environment. Light a candle and incense, put some background music on, and just so you can hone in on that peace. Also, a supplement that I like to take every day to support women's health is these probiotics. I got these from Amazon. I just started using these, and they have prebiotics, digestive enzymes, cranberry, and D-minerals. So they support your vaginal health, your digestion, your pH balance, and your immune system. I used to take probiotics all the time, but I just started trying out these brands, and I think it's very important to take probiotics to support your gut health, because if your gut is not right, then everything can be thrown off balance. The gut is known as your second brain. Okay, last but not least is mood. We touched on this a little bit earlier as I was saying that your luteal cycle can be correlated with feeling not so much your greatest and intense emotions, or more sensitivity that could be linked to depression or feeling really sad or anxious. You might realize that it can happen during certain days of the month. So what I like to do is I like to track my mood. You can use a tracking sheet. I found this online. It's called Harmonious Life Tracker, and every month you can print this out and you can track different feelings that you may be experiencing, such as sadness, hopelessness, agitation, social withdrawal, low self-esteem. What happens is you'll begin to realize a pattern. What I was realizing is that exactly 7 days before my period, that's when I tend to be the most emotional. Like any little thing could set me off. And I realized, okay, maybe it's not more so depression. Like I can stop blaming depression all the time, and maybe it's just my luteal phase. And how can I manage this? By taking the proper supplements, by tracking my mood so I know when to expect this, by redirecting those emotions towards something else, like a project that I'm working on, by making sure my nutrition is on point. So that's how you get to manage those emotions and those feelings that you experience every month, so that they don't throw you off guard and make you fall into a pit. I realized that once I'm thrown off balance, it seeps into the days after that. So it's very hard for me to get out of it if I don't catch it early. I'm experiencing these negative moods and negative feelings way past my luteal phase if I don't put a handle on it now. Other things you can do to manage your feelings and your emotions that tend to be more intense is journaling. I love journaling and I advocate for journaling. That's how I started my journey with God. I brought a journal and it took off ever since. So journaling your feelings, your emotions. I realize some days I tend to journal more than others, and that's when I'm feeling the most, either have the most thoughts in my head or feeling the most emotional. You can release, cry it out, scream it out, punch a pillow, do something to release that energy so that you're not holding it in and being a container for it. You have to let it go. Also, no social media. Go on a 24-hour social media fast. Get off your phone, get off TikTok, get off Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is that you use, YouTube, whatever is perpetuating those feelings of anxiety, low self-esteem, comparison, jealousy. Take it away. Just for a day, I like to listen to some instrumentals, some jazz music, put it on my Bluetooth, focus on my work, or read. Instead of scrolling, you could just read. I have an activity bin filled with like a coloring book, markers, books that I want to start reading, guided journals with prompts in them that I can write in, anything like that that can sort of redirect you to focus on something better rather than the negative mood that you're in. Also, supplements for mood. I take this mood support supplement by this Now brand. I really like this brand, and basically it's all natural. It helps to regulate your nervous system, which, oh my gosh, that's a whole topic in itself. If your nervous system is not regulated, you basically are going day by day in survival mode, and that is not good for you. So this helps to maintain a positive attitude, especially if you suffer with depression. So these have vitamins, Saint Wort's, holy basil, valerian. I basically looked this up with an herbal remedy book, and it listed depression as one of the ailments and the herbs that you can use, and these are the same herbs that are in here. And also there is this PMS support, and this is by the brand called Habit. They have a few different vitamins actually, and this helps support premenstrual symptoms and stress. It has vitamin D, vitamin B, ashwagandha, chasteberry, and ginseng, which helps produce that calming effect in your body. And you know, vitamin B complex is helpful for energy levels. So yeah, I would say look into supplements. There's nothing wrong with taking supplements. I take vitamins, vitamin D, omega-3, fatty acids, just to give you that boost. Everything comes together as a culmination to help your mind, body, soul, and spirit all in one. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good 2026, and I will see you lovely ladies in the next video. Bye.